If you work for a disability service provider, the workbook is a really useful tool to work through with people to identify where they're at the moment, what's important to them, but also looking at what their support needs are, where they might need to build their skills. It also has incredibly useful information about resources that are available that can help them fulfil and work towards their housing goal. There's also a guide that supports workers in having conversations with clients. The guide was really clear that listening to the client and it for being person-centred was key. Lauren is a service user under our Milestone Solutions arm. Lauren lives with ageing parents and they know that in the future Lauren won't be able to live with them, so they need to look at other options. We went through the workbook together and we looked at some of those worksheets. We looked at worksheet number 1, which was really useful because it helped me get an understanding of what Lauren was wanting in terms of her housing. She'd had quite limited life experience, so she didn't actually know what she wanted. All she'd known is her family home. What was really important to her was to maintain her current connections in her local community. She's employed 2 days a week. She's also a volunteer in her local community with 2 different organisations. She also does bowling and art and goes to a local gym. So to maintain her quality of life, actually staying within the vicinity of where she was living currently was really important. Then we looked at worksheet number 2, which talked about Lauren's support needs. It identified that Lauren was quite independent in a lot of ways, but she had a lot of skills she still needed to grow, and it would be useful for her to try and build those skills before she was living without her parents. So I made some suggestions about how she might be able to sort of build on her skills to be a bit more independent. Now, there's a lot of families, especially older family members, who are worried about the future and what's going to happen when they're no longer here. And I think this, the workbook is a really useful tool for them to work through. It helps you explore what the options are and put things in place so that you can have some kind of reassurance that there is a future. And I think it's really important not to wait too long to take those steps. If you can plan well ahead of time, you're more likely to get a better outcome for your family member with disability and for your whole family and yourself, because you can pass on your knowledge and skills to those people who are going to be the future support network. I think the most important thing is listening to the person with disability because it's their life. Make sure their voice is heard within that process.